guys! Welcome back to Refinery29's YouTube channel. If you're new here, be sure to press on the little subscribe box in the corner. We have tons of new videos on the way. And because I know how much you guys love them, I decided to make another bullet journal video for you. Woo! I just shrunk, didn't I? Alright guys, it's July and I haven't shown you my bullet journal in a little while, but I'm still using the same exact bullet journal. It's the one with the picture of me and my twin doing handstands on the front, and I am so excited to show you guys how I organized my July monthly spread. I've been obsessing over citrus lately, not only how it tastes, but also how it looks and the color palette of it, so I went with a citrus theme for July. And now as I show you guys how I set up my bullet journal for this month, I'm gonna disappear so that you're not distracted by my beautiful lemon shirt, and I'm gonna move this over to voiceover. Bye! Okay, so I always start by using pencil in my bullet journal. I make mistakes very frequently, so using a pencil is the easiest just in case I need to erase anything. And I started out by just outlining 3 circles and then adding those little sections on the inside that we see on various pieces of citrus fruits. I then whipped out my watercoloring palette and I just freestyled it. I didn't have the colors planned out or anything. I just followed my intuition, and one of the fruits turned into a pink grapefruit. The other turned into a lemon. And the third turned into an orange. When I'm painting, I love mixing colors, and I don't worry too much about going outside of the lines because I actually think it's kind of fun, and it looks more watercolor-esque when it's not 100% perfect. After I added the color, I used my favorite Pentel pen with an 06 tip to go over the outlines. I feel like this gives it that extra pop and really brings the illustration to life. I used the same pen with an 03 tip, which is a little bit skinnier, to fill in the insides of the fruit. And once again, I did not have a plan here. I just added squiggles and seed-like shapes to give the watercolor some dimension and a little texture. And I made sure it looked different for each of the fruits. Once the drawing was done, I wrote out July 2018 in pencil first, and then I used my Tombow calligraphy pen on top of it. In case you're new to this channel, I made a whole video on hand lettering where I challenged myself to learn the art of calligraphy in 5 days. And the biggest thing I took away from that video was to always make your downstrokes thick and your upstrokes thin. But if you're curious or you want to learn more, you should probably watch that video next. After the front page was done, I started making my monthly spread by writing the numbers of the month from 1 to 31 down the center of the page. And then I drew some more citrus fruits around the outside of them. I used my Crayola Supertips for this and mixed up the colors as I went. Some of the fruits came out looking a little more neon than others, but by the end I really liked the way it looked all together. Side note, I did not come up with this spread idea on my own. I actually found it on Instagram on an account called Feet on the Stars, and I just loved it so much that I had to try it for myself. After I made the numbers darker with my Tombow calligraphy pen, I went through with my Pentel skinny pen and outline the fruits just like I did on the page before. On my next page, I got a little crafty. So I took scissors, some tape, and some paper, and I did a little folding and cutting until the paper was a perfect size to use as a header on both sides. This is for a weekly spread, so I drew 3 lemons on the left page for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. I filled them in, outlined them, and then wrote the days of the week above them. And then I made 4 lemons on the next page, filled them in, outlined them, and added Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on top. This is another spread idea that I did not invent myself. I've got to give credit. I took this idea from the Petite Planner. But basically, I put the first piece of paper on the first page, taped it on with my tape, not forgetting to tape the back down so it stays in place. And then I actually skipped a few pages and taped the second half of the week to the top of that page. I know you're probably like, what are you doing? I don't get it. But don't worry, it will all make sense soon. I took the inside pages, tore them down slowly one by one to the height of the headers, and then cut them all at once so that basically you can see the 2 headers side by side and it looks like there's a full weekly spread on the top, but then there are a bunch of pages in between to write on. And I measured it out so that I had just enough room for every day of the week. I used my yellow zebra Mildliner highlighter to draw a yellow bar on each page, and then I wrote the day of the week inside the yellow bar. In the past, I've written the days out and then tried highlighting them after, and I don't know if it's my paper or the pens I'm using, but that always smudges the ink for me. So now I always add the highlighter first, and then I do my best to fit the word into it. When I was done, I realized that especially the edges of the highlighter mark had bled through the page, so I used my Presto Jumbo Correction pen from Pentel to touch up some of these spots. And even though the spots looked way whiter than my paper at first, it actually blended in really nicely after it dried. As you might know from previous bullet journals of mine, I don't usually make weekly spreads in my bullet journal, but this weekly spread was just calling my name, and the first week of July was extremely busy for me, so it was actually necessary. Next, I made a monthly mood tracker. I have never made a mood tracker before, but I've been getting really in touch with my emotions and my body recently, and I really wanted to track how I feel each day. I made a giant citrus fruit for this. I outlined it in pencil first, of course, and then I went over it with my skinniest pen and outlined the entire outside of the circle. I had these fruits next to me while I was drawing it, which was definitely a big help, and then once I was happy with it, I erased the pencil marks underneath and added all the numbers from 1 to 31 going clockwise in a circle. I wrote mood tracker on the top and then didn't like the spacing or the placement of it at all, so I erased it entirely and started from scratch. And once I was happy with them, I went over the pencil with my Tombow calligraphy pen using my newly learned hand lettering techniques. I don't know about you guys, but I didn't learn script that well in school, and just from watching YouTube videos and following sample writing templates, I've basically taught myself how to write script. I drew a little key at the bottom with a range of moods on it, from a sad face to a medium type face to a happy face. I filled in one day just as a sample for you guys to see what it would look like. And by the end of the month, I'm gonna have this weird citrus looking fruit that's partially a blood orange, partially an orange, partially a lemon, and hopefully it's more of a lemon than anything else, if you know what I'm saying. At this point, I went back to my monthly spread and added in a few key upcoming dates to show you guys how I'm gonna use this. It's more of a top-level spread that reminds me of the main event on each day, such as classes I'm attending, concerts I'm going to, events, and more. And so now that I have a monthly spread, a cool and creative weekly spread that I've never used before, and my monthly mood tracker, I decided to make one more tracker. I used a ruler to make 3 charts so that I could fit each day of the month, and then I added in the habits that I want to track on each chart. There are a few things that I've been trying to implement into my daily life recently. Namely, not picking up my phone first thing in the morning, scaling back on sugar, drinking more than 8 glasses of water a day, and incorporating meditation into my life more regularly. In keeping with my citrus theme, I used my Mildliners again to make a decorative header using orange and pink. And then I used my hand lettering skills to write habit tracker using my Tombow black brush pen. You can't exactly see it that clearly, but I did write it in pencil first. So if you look really closely, you'll see that it's under there and that I'm actually tracing it, and I'm not just taking the brush pen to my paper and hoping for the best. I filled in a few days on the tracker just to show you guys how I'm gonna color code it. And that's it. Also, you'll be happy to know that after I cut up all of this citrus to use it as a prop in the video, I ate some of it whole, and then whatever was remaining, I juiced it and I made myself a delicious citrus juice. Comment below letting me know which page of mine is your favorite, and send me your theme ideas or spread ideas below because I have so many more pages in this bullet journal and I'm gonna keep it up. Thanks for watching this bullet journal plan with me. Let us know if you want to see more of these, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Hey YouTube, thanks for watching. Click here for another video on R29's channel, here to subscribe to us on YouTube, and here for my personal YouTube channel. See ya!